We're live at Coyote Joe's for Fight Lab 23. I'm your host, Paul Boo, alongside Kevin Ferrant. We're here with MMA on the Rise. We've got a great card tonight.
We got 12 exciting fights featuring 2 pro fights. Matt McMullins versus Dana King, and the main event, Keith Richardson versus Dewan Owens, which is a fight that everybody in the area is excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night of fights, so stay tuned to MMA on the Rise.
The MMA on the Rise, bringing you the best in mixed martial arts and combat sports. I'm your host, Tom Ziegler. Tonight we have a fight from Fight Lab 23, Coyote Joe's in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got Daniel Shook versus Robert Moore. Stay tuned.
Blue corner, bring me Dewan Owens. Young buck. Get it down, yeah. I ain't talking, but he's about to get that ass off. Watch I get the club crunk, I'm gonna make him stop. We ain't playing one front, that ass off. Do it like the dirty South boys doing golf. The way you from, you the boss, I'ma break him off. Where you from, you the boss, let me break him off. Where you from, you the boss, I'ma break him off. Where you from, you the boss, let me break him off.
MMA on the Rise here at Coyote Joe's in Charlotte, North Carolina for Fight Lab 23. I'm your host, Tom Ziegler, here cage side with the Fight Tech, Paul Boo and Kevin, the master of cool Ferrant. We've got your main event of the evening. Dewan Dirty South Owens about to make his way to the cage.
This fight is going to be exciting.
Yeah, this is it's got lightning written all over it. Very, very exciting fight on paper.
Yeah, Keith Rockstar Richardson versus Dewan Owens. Keith Richardson out of Modern Warrior MMA, out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's also a training affiliate of us up at Highest on IMB, so we've seen him in the gym for the past several years, coming in and doing sparring and working out with us, you, Kevin Ferrant, and our guys. But Dewan Owens has built up an impressive record as himself.
And out of the red corner, DJ A-Rod, bring me Keith Richardson.
Yeah, Keith Richardson coming to the cage with an impressive pro record of 6-3, 4-0 as an amateur. He's going to have his hands full with Dewan Owens, bringing loads of experience, 12 amateur fights, 3-2 as a pro, with his last win coming just a few weeks ago up in Pennsylvania at Complete Devastation 4 with the submission rear naked choke against Brett Ewing. He's also got wins against Brian Carl Malinsky and Curtis Cloward, and his only losses as a pro against the very talented George Hickman and Jason Quast.
Yeah, Dewan Owens is definitely a freakish athlete as we're watching Keith Richardson make his way into the cage. He's got his training partners, Pat Sweet.
And Brad Roof as well.
Yeah, Brad Roof's over there.
And you also have master of the mic, Chaz Bryant over there as well, cornering him, helping him out.
Chaz Bryant from Carolina Warrior TV, good friend of Keith Richardson, and a fellow Marine as well.
Yeah,
Exciting fight on paper here. Both guys bring a tremendous speed, tremendous strength, tremendous ability into the cage. You got a little bit of experience factor to Keith Richardson with his record, but Dewan Owens is going to be a big test. He's coming in the cage very confident tonight.
Both guys coming to 145 to make it their home. I talked to both fighters. Neither one of them was excited about making that weight cut.
This is the main event of the evening. This fight is brought to you by Monster Energy Drinks, La Paz Brio Tuscan Grill, Fuel Pizza, and MS Morgan Construction Company. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? First, the gentleman standing to my right. This young man comes to us from Durham, North Carolina. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighs in at an even 145 pounds. He has an impressive pro MMA record of 3 wins versus 2 losses, representing Samurai Muay Thai and Triangle Jiu-Jitsu. Give it up for Dirty South, Dewan Owens! And his opponent, standing to my left in the red corner. This young man comes to us from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he also weighed in at 145 pounds. He also shares an equally impressive record of 6 wins versus only 3 losses, representing Modern Warrior MMA. Give me up for the Rockstar,
I always like to mention too, when Keith fights, he was actually a Marine, served several tours, I believe, in Iraq.
Dewan Owens also.
Yeah, so both guys actually military guys, so both of them are warriors in and outside the cage.
This fight has explosion written all over it.
This is the fight North Carolina has been anticipating. Starts off with a bang like we expected.
Now Keith is his wrestling is phenomenal, and he's just extremely strong for the weight class. But Dewan Owens also too is known for his strength and his agility.
Yeah, Dewan Owens is the bigger of the two. He also brings the bigger reach in the striking game, but Keith is taking him straight down to the ground. And we know for sure that once Keith Richardson gets on top, it's very difficult to get up.
Yeah, Keith is known to wear his opponents out with a ferocious pace early on that most people just can't keep up with.
Now, I know that Dewan comes out of Triangle Jiu-Jitsu, and he's also done some work with Dave Mansell over at Satsuma Jiu-Jitsu. So I know he's been working his Jiu-Jitsu hard. But Keith is a black belt in combat jiu-jitsu under Pat Sweet. Also, too, he's a state champion, South Carolina state champion wrestler. He's very good with his submission defense. Now, Dewan looks like he's trying to set up a sweep, but Keith is like a wet blanket when he gets on top of you. It's hard to move him.
Yeah, it's very difficult. He feels a lot heavier than 145 pounds.
He has such a solid base. It's really, really hard to sweep him.
Now, this is a very fast-paced fight already. Even though they're on the ground, they're both working really, really hard here. And, gas tank is going to play a major factor in this fight. And, again, this is a pro fight. Keep dropping some elbows there.
Keith's trying to pass all the way through to side control. He's trying to set up that crucifix that he likes so much.
I'm sure Dewan has studied tape on Keith and is aware of this, and that might be a mistake setting it up too early for Keith, because Dewan, he keeps trying to set up a sweep every time Keith does it. I'm sure that Dewan has worked on his particular sweep based on Keith doing that.
He's got him in the crucifix now. Let's see what he does with it. He can land some short elbows here, some good left hands.
Keith has modified it slightly. He typically likes to actually catch the arm with his shin.
He's going to slide over to mount, but he loses it, and Dewan gets him back into half guard on the other side. Now Keith's got an overhook on his right hand, with his right arm, and he's probably wants to try to fight for an underhook there. Keith using great top pressure to transition from one side to the other. Dewan doing everything he can to keep him from passing his guard.
Now myself and both of you guys have trained with Keith and sparred with Keith and been underneath him. You know, he really pushes your cardio when he's on top of you because he's so busy. If you don't constantly move and constantly push, he's going to exploit whatever opportunity you give him. And so Keith is working at a furious pace. It's really going to push his cardio, but Dewan is having to carry Keith's weight. And like you said, Keith feels like he weighs way more than he does.
Yeah, he seems to just be able to slice right through guards.
Yeah, he's got the short legs. It's really difficult to maintain any type of guard. He shoots through very easily. He's got a good side control position. He's going for the bent arm bars that he likes so much.
Yeah, he loves to work for the Americana or the Kimura from on that far side of side control.
A lot of people will consider that a strength technique, but in Keith's case, that works to his advantage because he tends to be stronger than the guys he's fighting.
He's looking to set up the Kimura, and
he used to fight at 155, and he was stronger than everybody at that weight class. And now that he's down at 145, he's substantially stronger than most guys. And I'm sure Dewan is not used to fighting a guy. People underestimate Keith's strength, and I don't know if he's used to fighting a guy who's stronger than him because Dewan.
Well, Dewan's been in there with some very, very strong, highly skilled guys such as Jordan Rinaldi, Jacob Allman, and Colt Howell in an amateur. So.
And all those guys are good, solid ground guys, strong guys, but still, I don't think any of them actually have the strength that Keith has at that weight.
He's like a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Especially at 145.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At that weight class, I just don't know if anybody can match his strength.
Because all those fights for Dewan are at 155 as an amateur. Dewan's even fought at 170 as an amateur.
Yeah, he's a very large 145er.
Now, Keith's got to be careful with his arm in the middle there. Okay, he sees it. Now, Dewan is working. Dewan is being busy. He's not just laying there. He's scrambling. He's making Keith work as well. So this is going to work on Keith's cardio as far as just him having to constantly retransition to maintain because Dewan is not laying still.
Yeah, Keith again trying to transition to mount, and Dewan sneaks it back to half guard.
I think this really is going to come down to a battle of cardio at the end of this. Who's going to be able to come out in the second and possibly third round with that same kind of ferocity?
That's the end of round one.
This is Jordan Rinaldi, and you're watching MMA on the Rise.
Keith Richardson getting the takedown, dominating from top position.
Easily
very early in the round.
Yeah, easily score that round for Keith Richardson. Dewan Owens got up and wanted the crowd to know that he wasn't fazed by all that top pressure that Keith was dishing out to him in the first round, though.
But you got to say he definitely did a good job of staying out of serious trouble. However, once Keith's on top, like we said, very difficult to get him off. It's definitely going to look favorable in the judges' eyes. You definitely got to give him the nod for round one easily. But we'll see what Dewan brings to the second round. Like I said, he did a real good job of staying out of trouble. Keith would have submitted a lot of guys by now. I was talking to Dave Mansell before the fight. He said that Dewan's in tremendous condition, and he's never seen him quite so ready for a fight.
He looks at it. He's barely even.
Yeah, he's barely breathing. Keith still looks pretty fresh. Keith does seem to be breathing slightly harder. You never know with Keith. He sometimes he'll act tired and then he just comes right back out and recovers.
Both guys throwing kicks. Dewan landed it low, and Keith letting the referee know that he's hurting. Referee calls a time to action.
Yeah, little low blow.
I don't think Dewan thought he hit him. He said no, but the ref saw it and thought it was low. So I couldn't tell from this angle where it landed. But I mean, Keith is not the type to call something off as far as a low blow if it wasn't there.
No, absolutely not. Both guys simultaneously went for a kick.
Yeah.
Which made him easily susceptible to getting.
Yeah. A lot of times when both guys kick at the same time, a knee will come up with the guy who's later on the kick and will end up catching the other guy right in the crotch.
The Rockstar will get up to 5 minutes to recover from this. He should take his time.
Looks a little shaken up by it. Must have been a solid hit.
Yeah, he should take his time here.
He says he's ready.
It gives a thumbs up. Donnie Jessup's going to let him fight. And here we go.
Neil Legs, please come to the stage. Neil Legs.
Another good takedown. Keith
looks
lands
like-
in side position.
It looks like Dewan landed a couple strikes there, but Keith got up underneath and took advantage of getting up. Basically, his shorter stature, he uses that to his advantage in getting up underneath guys.
Well, it looked like Keith landed a nice 1-2, and as Dewan rushed to him after that exchange, he used that as an opportunity to duck under and get underneath him.
Yeah, plays right into Keith Richardson's hands. He likes to get inside, likes to make it close and nasty, as he likes to say.
You know, a lot of times, people give Keith a disadvantage for being short. He's not an extremely tall guy, and in this weight class, when he was at 55, he was definitely much shorter than the guys he was fighting. But in this weight class, he still tends to even give up height, even in the 145s. But it's such a small amount that the height actually plays to his advantage in his wrestling game, because he is able to get underneath guys. Guys are punching down at him, and so he gets up underneath their hips relatively easily because of it.
Yeah, Dewan tried to sweep, ends up mounted. He may not like how this turns out.
He does get mounted here, but it looks like he's able to get his knees up, and he's got showing pretty solid mount escape so far in this fight.
Yeah, he's shown some good hips for sure from the bottom. I know for a fact that being underneath Keith, he does a good job of keeping you flat on your back, so you can't get your hips out and improve your position.
Please come to the stage.
Yeah, there's very few people that I train with that when I give up position that I can't somehow establish back to a butterfly or a half butterfly. Keith is one of those guys that I have an extremely hard time reestablishing once you let him pass. So Dewan's doing a good job at every time Keith has passed. Dewan has, for the most part, been able to reestablish, which, like I said, is an extremely hard thing to do with Keith.
Keith again trying to sneak over to mount. Dewan doing an excellent job of avoiding that, getting Keith stuck in that half guard position again.
Yeah, I think Keith he got the side control, and I think he was a little too premature in trying to go to mount. He probably should have set that up a little bit better.
Now, Dewan Owens, I think what he needs to do is he needs to get an underhook with his left arm in the position they're in. He's wrapped around the head. If he takes that underhook, it's going to give him more success about getting back to guard as well as potentially getting up.
It looks like he's got that crucifix that he loves. See if he can stay there.
It looks like now the constant grinding of Keith is finally starting to take its toll on Dewan. Dewan doesn't seem to have quite the same explosion when he's trying to buck up now. Again, Keith being like that wet blanket.
Keith again sneaking that leg up, trying to slide that knee across the mount. And Dewan again
Gets him back in half guard.
with good hip movement, gets him back to half guard. Keith now fishing for that Kimura, or Udigarami as I like to refer to it.
The Japanese would call it Udigarami.
It's a bent armbar. For anybody who doesn't know either one of those terms, it's known as a Kimura, Udigarami, bent armbar, several different names. Dewan's trying to come out the back there. Keith is able to retransition and maintain on top.
Keith has given Dewan everything he could handle on the ground, but Dewan being very resilient, isn't giving up and making Keith fight for everything.
Keith is setting back in for that bent armbar again. Now this is a hard to finish from half guard, but now he's able to pass through to side position, but his arm is trapped in there. He's got to be aware if Dewan brings his leg up, he could potentially catch an inverted triangle. Now Keith brings his arm out. Now this is a bad position now for Dewan. Now Keith has a full side position on him. He's going to have the ability to start raining down elbows and start working his submissions heavily. And again, Dewan's losing a lot of his explosion.
Yeah, you can tell it's starting to wear down.
He's starting to feel that.
He's got the Americana.
He's got it wrapped up.
Yeah, he's got it wrapped up good.
Dewan able to sneak out of it.
Yeah, he definitely snuck out of that.
And Keith's got to be careful there. Dewan's setting up he gets his hips back, but Dewan's trying to set up a sweep from there. Keith sees it and puts his hips back.
10 seconds left in the second round. Richardson ending the round with some good body shots.
My name's Lawrence Dennis.
Joe Pacheco, and you're watching MMA on the Rise.
And more of the same. Keith Richardson gets the takedown early, dominates the position for most of the round. Little deja vu.
Yeah, another round with a relentless pace by Keith Richardson.
Now both of these guys are, this is a really extremely high output fight. Even though Keith is maintaining top position most of the time, staying on top, both of these guys are working. Dewan Owens is doing everything he can to not let Keith establish an overly dominant position. Keith is constantly transitioning, moving, trying to improve his position. Even though there's not a lot of strikes being thrown, both these fighters are working hard. This is a very technical fight at this point.
Yeah, again, Dewan Owens doing a great job of staying out of serious trouble, avoiding submissions, trying to improve his position, but he's never able to get on the offensive, which isn't going to allow him to score any points.
Dewan Owens again looks like he's recovered rather quickly.
Yeah, he's in great shape. Trying to get the crowd to fire him up.
Keith needs to keep his chin down. Dewan looks like he's looking for that strike. Up. Nice takedown on Richardson's part. Dewan again right back to a half guard. Dewan looked like he was trying to plan in to land a big shot.
Yeah, set in with the strikes, ducked underneath, good blast takedown. Typical Rockstar Keith Richardson.
Looks like he's working in, like he's trying to set something up on the far side, and he's trying to set up an armbar now. Now Keith Richardson needs to be wary of that, because again, like we said, Dewan Owens working out of Triangle Jiu-Jitsu as well as with Dave Mansell over Satsuma Jiu-Jitsu, so you know he's been working his Jiu-Jitsu a lot. Now Keith establishing good position and dropping down short elbows.
Dewan looks like he's going to try using the cage to gain a little leverage, and Keith trying to walk him away from that. Keith still maintaining side control, looking for some elbows. Dewan doing everything he can to protect his face and try to fire knees from the bottom to the side of Keith, but those are not very effective when you're on your back.
He's trying to throw knees. I think it's more of a distractionary tool right now, and then he was trying to throw his leg up over to get the armbar. Now he's turning his back. I think those short elbows are starting to take their toll, and Dewan's trying everything he can to reposition. He's able to establish an underhook with his left arm, which is going to be giving the ability to potentially get up, but he loses again. Keith's working his pass. Dewan's doing everything he can not to let him establish.
It looks like Keith could have an opportunity to set up an arm choke here, but Dewan recognizes that and gets his elbow to the ground.
He's dropping it with his head, but Dewan did see it, started dealing with it.
Keith just relentless with his top game. Very, very difficult to deal with. Dewan doing everything he can. Doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
No, you can never get on the offensive when you're constantly defending.
And we are just about halfway through this third and final round of this professional 145-pound bout.
Yeah, your main event of the evening has been more of the same from first round to third round. Keith Richardson gets the takedown, dominates top position, landing short strikes and elbows.
And
Dewan Owens trying to blast out of it, but he gives up his back.
Keith's able to
He doesn't have both hooks in, but he's actually smart. He actually grabbed the leg in a way to keep from being dumped off the back. But now he's going for his body triangle. Now Keith has very short legs. When he locks his body triangle in,
very,
it is
very
so tight.
Suffocating.
I've been on the receiving end of that before, and
it'll make your lower intestines hurt.
Yeah. Keith has a very controlling back control, especially with that figure 4 lock on there like that.
He's got 90 seconds, plenty of time to look for the choke here.
Yeah, Dewan Owens doing a good job protecting himself from strikes and also controlling the hands, keeping himself from getting choked, but he's not going to like that position. He rolls back over. You get that body.
Trying to get his right arm under, raking his left across, looking for a...
Keith is going to face crank.
A face crank.
He's Dewan is laying on the correct side to try to relieve a little bit of the pressure from that body triangle. But the only problem is, like I said, Keith's legs are so short that even when you are the right direction, it's so tight.
We got under a minute left in this fight.
Again, Dewan Owens doing a good job with hand control, defending the choke, but he's stuck in a bad position. He's trying to spin to get back belly to belly.
Almost gets it, but Keith is just able to climb up him, lock that triangle, body triangle even tighter.
Dewan is trying everything he can to turn into face Keith. And
almost got him.
And he does. His Keith's leg slip.
And that's the fight.
There you have it. Into the third round, Dewan Owens was able to get out of that rough position and explode and get some shots in, but the damage had been done. Most of the fight had been dominated by Richardson. Good positioning, good takedowns, aggressive, fast-paced top game from the Rockstar, Keith Richardson.
Overall, a good performance for Keith Rockstar Richardson. Dewan Owens worked his butt off that entire fight, came in shape, was ready to go, but just Keith was just, the wrestling and the control of Keith was just a little bit too much for him.
Incredibly difficult to deal with.
Yeah, Keith is one of those guys that's hard to prepare for. I mean, it's his dominant control. It's very hard to find guys that can simulate that.
You know what he's going to do. You just don't have what it takes to stop it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Those guys that just have such a dominating style like that. If Dewan's chance there would have been probably from the standing, even though Keith has got good standing, good stand up. Dewan just could not stop the takedown.
And here we go with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout goes to the scorecards of the judges. Your winner by unanimous decision by a score of 30-27 out of the red corner, the Rockstar, Richardson.
And there you have it, as expected, dominating unanimous decision. Thanks for watching another exciting episode of MMA on the Rise. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at MMAOTR.
You can also like us on Facebook.
You can also visit us at MMAOnTheRise.tv.
And now you can follow us on Twitter at MMAOTR.
We'll see you next time on MMA on the Rise.
beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you. Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard we can go. No one will know. Oh, come on, girl. Who cares if we're trash? Got a pocket full of cash we can blow. Shots of Patrol, and it's on, girl. Don't say no, 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 no. Just say yeah, 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 yeah. And we'll go, 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 go. If you're ready, like I'm ready. 'Cause it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you. Oh, I'll go get a ring, let the choir bells sing like ooh. So what you wanna do? Let's just run, girl. If we wake up and you wanna break up, that's cool. No, I won't blame you. It was fun, girl. Don't say no, 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 no. Just say yeah, 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 yeah. And we'll go, 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 go. If you're ready, like I'm ready. 'Cause it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you. Just say I do. Tell me right now, baby. Tell me right now, baby. Baby, just say I do. Tell me right now, baby. Tell me right now, baby. Baby, oh, it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna